I just wanted to put together a quick video showing the process for replacing a screen on an SR260 remote control from Control4. I've done a couple of these now, and I figure there's something maybe you can learn from me if you're wanting to do it yourself. I'm going to try and make this video as unedited as possible. Over time these screens fail. You'll know when it's failed because either you'll have nothing on the screen or you will hardly be able to read the writing. You'll have to keep doing this every time you want to read something on the screen. So let's get stuck into it. So the first thing we need to do is remove the battery cover and also remove the battery. Yours might have AA's in it. This one's a rechargeable one. So I'll just pull that out here. The next thing that we need to do is remove the two screws here. So you'll see there's two small Phillips head screws here. I've got a small Phillips head screwdriver. Yeah, we're just going to remove those two screws first. The first one I did, I didn't remove these two screws, and actually sit them over here. I've got a magnetic spot for them to sit, and I ended up snapping off the bases where they go into, and then if you do that, you'll notice that the back end of the remote doesn't clip in anymore. The next thing we need to do is slowly pry off the casing. So you'll notice just even when you get it with your finger, now that you've removed those two screws, this will start to come unclipped. So what we want to do is we want to continue to unclip this all the way around. Now I've broken quite a few clips doing this. I'm trying to come up with a better process, and this is another one for me to learn on. So what you want to do is you want to get something in between the case, not break it. There's a series of clips all going down the side of the unit here. I just need to release them from the top plate. In the other instructional video online, the guy uses a metal screwdriver to do this. I'm not really keen to use a metal screwdriver, but it is one thing I haven't tried. So I'm just going to get a small screwdriver here. And as you can see here, in doing that I just did now, that has broken that clip there. So to give you a better look, the tabs that they clip onto are on this part, and the tabs are underneath it. Now, I don't think that clip's fully broken, so hopefully now that I've got one, we should be able to encourage the rest with a bit of this. Next one. Again, I'm not sure if we broke it, but Try with the metal screwdriver again, guys. And it actually worked better than using the plastic one because it had the power to do it. So I'll have a look at this once we've got this off. Don't want to damage the side too much. All but one at the end. Now let's have a bit of a look just so that we know. So basically on the back cover, the part here, you can see that there's all these little clips here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And on the other side, there was also 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I managed to break one, but apart from that, it's not looking too bad. And you'll see that there's little spots where these clips go into. Don't think I've actually broken any. I've bent a couple, but it doesn't look like there's any broken. So we don't need these two parts for now. We're just going to put them to the side. Next thing we're going to do is have a look at the PCB here. So this is the screen on the front, and then this cable here is for the screen. So to remove this cable, there's a little black clip on the end of it here. So either with your finger or with something plastic, you can flip that up. I usually just do it with my fingernail. And now this ribbon connector will just come straight out. That's it. Next thing we need to do is remove the screen from the front. So you'll see that there's 4 clips, 1, 2, 3, 4. I usually just start on one side, clip them over. Once you get the first side off, then you'll just be able to remove the whole lot. 3, 4, done. Perfect. So the screen comes in this little plastic holder, which we still need. So I'll just put that there. Next thing we need to do is pry the screen out from the plastic holder. Now I haven't found a really good way to do this yet. The screen itself is held on to this plastic backing with some tape. So if you give it a little bend in the corner, and then you can sneak something in, like I'm using this plastic tool here. Once you get something underneath it, you just want to gently peel back the tape. Just like that. So you see it had a square of tape around the outside. And this is the old screen. So, because I deal with a few of these, I'm just going to mark that as old and get rid of that. I don't usually bother removing the excess tape that's on here. It's probably still sticky, but I do apply a little bit of new tape. I've just got some 3M double-sided tape. Which I'll just cut a piece of this off. And make a new sticky back. You can go all the way around the outside like it was before. I find it's just as easy. to do a few stripes. Like that. Perfect. Then just remove the backing off your tape. Perfect. Next thing we'll do is we'll grab the new screen out. So the screens come like this. Pair of scissors. Open up the anti-static bag. When you're cutting open the anti-static bag, don't get too gung-ho with the scissors and cut the connector off. Just like that. It should come right out. Now I guess with any electronics, handle with care. So try and only touch things from the sides. We feed the ribbon connector through the back, just as it was before. And the screen sits back into its spot on the new double-sided tape. I leave the screen protector on for now, but I'll show you when we put the case back on. You just need to make sure you get this tab on the outside of the case. So that's all back together, secure, and now we can start putting it back together. So what you want to do is this ribbon cable goes through the bottom hole, and then these side clips just clip straight back on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next you want to get this back into where it came out of. So sitting everything on here flat. You can use some tweezers if you've got some tweezers and you're very, very gentle. Otherwise, you can just use your fingers, making sure that that black gate here is all the way up. Otherwise, these pins won't be allowed to slide in anymore. Once you've got it in all the way, it should just push into, I think, about that much. Then you just lock it off with that. Just push the black thing back down in this direction. Then it shouldn't pull out anymore. We'll test it all out before once we put it all back together. Yeah, if you do have trouble with the screen after this, just double check this. You want to make sure that it's completely in there straight and as far in as it can go. So yeah, just making sure you pushed it in all the way it can go. All right, so let's start putting this thing back together. So the first thing you want to do is put the circuit board back into here. When you're doing that, you'll see that there's 2 little grooves here, and there's also 2 little grooves here. So for the 2 grooves at the bottom, the pads for the battery, the positive pads, go inside those grooves, and the grooves at the top, this first loop of the spring goes in those grooves. So just put that into there and that into there. Perfect. That's all you need to do for that. And for the front part, you want to make sure that all the buttons are coming out their buttonholes and you've got all the buttons in. Don't lose the room off button. I'll put that to there. Once we're at this part, this is the point where we remove the screen protector. So we want to peel that off, because on the front of this there is already a piece of plastic to stop the screen from falling out. Next thing we do is that we need to put this onto here. Now I like to do it this way. This is less likely to fall out than these buttons are, so I tip this more than I tip this part. So just want to put that over, try and get it lined up in the right spot and still have all the buttons coming out the right holes. Now if you find that a few buttons aren't lining up, you can just fix them as you go along, just encourage them with your finger. I've done pretty well this time. Now when putting these clips back in, I've found that applying a little bit of pressure to this part here helps the clips go in a little bit better. Otherwise you end up snapping these little bits of plastic here. So just apply a little bit of pressure and then clip it in. Pressure and clip. And then onto the other side. Some of them have already gone in by themselves. Pressure on this part here. Pressure. Pressure. Perfect. And everything should pretty much hold together by itself. If it's not, then you've probably broken a clip in the wrong spot, like I've done a few times. And once you're up to this point, you're now ready to put those 2 screws back in. So we'll grab these 2 screws. This one. Perfect. So all that's left to do is to pop the battery back in. So that might be AA's for you. For me, it's the rechargeable one. And then pop your cover back on. Now, I probably should have checked if this was flat before doing this. Because I have a feeling it is flat. So what I'm going to do is I've dug up some AA's. We'll put them in instead. The rechargeable remotes can also take AA's. And the AA ones can also be upgraded, and you can purchase a new battery and backplate and charger. So they are quite interchangeable. So let's pop some batteries in. There we go. Now you can see that the screen is lit up nice and bright, back to like the day it was bought. So I'll pop these rechargeable ones back in, and this one's a job done. Actually got a second one to pull apart and replace in a minute, so thank you very much for watching. If you need to buy anything to get this done, I've got links in the description on where to buy the screen, and the screen usually comes with some tools for you to rip it apart and put it back together. Thank you, and thanks for watching.